Alright, here we are playing the Extra Life 2023 Treasure Brawl. The other video where I lost horribly does not get uploaded. This is something that Magic and Wizards are doing to bring awareness to the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. So lots of life involved in this Extra Life awareness program they have. All of these decks are geared to help people gain life, and we also have extra mana every single upkeep. So I'm not going to get too into the specifics of this because, to be honest, I don't know a lot about it. I just noticed this was happening today and I'm going to participate. So we're going to use the extra heads, extra honks, because in order to get our tokens, we need green or white spells or green or blue spells. I did win a game already using this deck, so I've already got the 500 gold for doing that, but I've lost two pretty badly, so we'll see if we can't play some more spells and squeeze out some more wins. Turn 1 you have 2 mana, turn 2 you have 4, turn 3 you have 6, assuming that you're not using your treasures. So I think whoever can hold out the longest on using their treasures probably going to be better off. This is 100 card Explorer, Historic Brawl. So standard is 60 card with cards that are legal in the standard format, and the historic version obviously is like anything back to the beginning of Arena, but maybe probably limited to some other things as well. So this is interesting. So we Vine Glimmer. We have 2 ramp cards. I like that we have Midnight Clock, actually. I think that's really going to help us here. And then we have Wheel Kick, but no creature to use it on, and we have the Feasting Troll King. So this will be fine with our treasures. I like that we have ramp, that we're going to be able to use. Actually, we don't need... We will show them the forest, and then we'll play it next turn. Maybe they care that we might have a counter spell. Which this deck does have. It has counter spell. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Ooh, Fabled Passage. We'll save that. And I think we've run out our mana ramp here. We save the treasures because next turn we can play Guardian Idol and then still play the clock. Assuming we draw an untapped land. And if not, we just play the clock, we run out the Fabled Passage, and then hopefully we draw a land next turn and we can still make our land drops. Because having these treasures is great, but like you have to take a turn getting up to them. So this is not the best. We'll use the mana that we have, play the clock. We'll play the Fabled Passage, probably finding an island, and I think we will just use a treasure here actually to play our Mind Stone. We're going to gain it back next turn anyway, and they've used one of theirs, so I don't feel as bad using one of ours. Beginning of your pre-combat main phase, they can basically pay 6 life to do all 3 things: create a treasure, draw a card, create a 3/2 changeling, which is actually pretty nuts. I was going to say, in this format, you probably just want to pay the 6. Their commander's got lifelink, they could run that out. Damage equal to its power to each of X target creatures, alright. So they have a 3/2 now, it's all creatures. Death Touch, lifelink. Master attackers. We'll go ahead and crack the Fabled Passage now, and then I think their commander will trigger on end step. Let's find that island. We didn't lose life, so they'll choose the friends. Gain life equal to the amount of life you gain this turn. I assume, but I guess they didn't gain any life either, so maybe it's just a dud. Yeah, it's just a dud. We didn't lose any life this turn, so... yeah. Okay, here we go. So we get a treasure. The clock keeps triggering, which is really nice for us. God, more mana ramp. I do like that we can gain... we get mana based on the amount of life we've gained, so it's good with the Goose Mother and the Troll King. So let's play out the Idol. Man, do we play the Alchemist? They're Death Touch lifelink, so we're probably just going to end up taking some damage versus playing a Goose Mother and maybe wheel kicking. Let's see. If we play Goose Mother with 2 counters on it, then I think we can wheel kick both of their creatures. That seems pretty good. So Goose Mother for 2. Create a food, and then wheel kick is 2 green. I guess we can only really wheel kick one of their creatures. We would need to have another... we would need to have made a land drop here. So I guess it's just going to be 1. Target creature you control will deal damage here. We'll auto pay. If we had 1 more source of mana, we would have been able to deal 4 damage to both of their creatures. So we'll just kill the commander. Even with their treasure and their land drop, they're not going to be able to cast it this turn unless they have a... I guess they could have a Dark Ritual in there. Not the most familiar with Historic Brawl and what's legal. Oh, they did create an extra treasure, so a land drop here would allow them to play it. Forgot they'd be willing to pay. I mean, 1 life, 1 treasure is really good. Even 2 for a card is really good. How did they play Henrika? They're going to make us sack the Goose Mother, I would imagine. Each player sacks a creature, because they can just sack one of their changelings now. The good news is they're just losing a lot of life to Black Market connections, so if we can start to connect with our Troll King or really anything else, like we have mana that's staying on the battlefield past our treasures, so at least we're still ahead here with our Mind Stone, our Clock, and our Signet. Before we know it, there's a land, that's nice. We're going to be able to really use the clock, and we're going to be in pretty good shape. So, not worried about Henrika or their 3-2 right now. Next turn we can play the Troll King if we want to. Surely they're not going to lose 6 life here right now. That's half their life total. Okay, I'm just going to create a treasure. How reasonable of them. Whoa! Exquisite Blood is legal here. Man, is Sanguine Bond too? God. Don't tell me they have that combo in here. That's amazing. 4, 5, 6, 7. We still have 7 mana with our lands and our rocks if we sack the Mind Stone. Because they have so many cards in hand, I'm really thinking about doing that. That way we can draw. Then I would only have to sack 1 treasure to do that, and then we gain it back on upkeep. What I don't want to have to do is pay 3 to put counters on the clock. Alright, so that doesn't die, but obviously it's got another way to kill it, I would assume. He's gonna draw and lose a life. Maybe he just needed to gain life. He just wanted to gain life. Whenever I lose life, he gains life. Alrighty then. Well, past the blockers. Oh, I see. It's so that I can't block him here. Yeah, well, we're just going to take it. You can gain 4. That's fine. I don't think we can get rid of Exquisite Blood, but maybe we can get rid of Henrika and then block the 3/2 next turn. Yeah, sack Fabled Passage. So if we sack the food, we have to use a treasure. If we sack the Mind Stone, we have to use a treasure. I think we're just going to sack the Mind Stone. Auto pay with the treasure. I need that extra card. Okay, this is actually really nice. We can destroy artifact or enchantment with the Steelbane Hydra. That's really good here. And Farsight Ritual, look at the top 4 if this was bargained, look at the top 8, 2 into your hand. That's really nice too. It's almost like a tutor. So, we actually will sack the food, because that means that this is going to tap for 3. We're going to play the Hydra for... Let's do this. Let's tap this for green. And then we need 3 to use the Hydra. And we've got enough of that, so we're going to play the Hydra for 2. Auto pay here. And then we are going to remove a counter and destroy Exquisite Blood. And then we are going to remove a counter and destroy their black market connections. Using all of our treasures here. And personally, I think that's worth it, because now they can no longer get extra treasures, extra card draw, extra creatures. They're not going to gain life when they deal damage to us anymore. So thank you Steelbane, coming in clutch there. It's a shame we didn't have Vorinclex on the board and could double up the counters on it, but hey, we got double enchantment removal. Waiting to resolve the Midnight Clock trigger. Before they even get a treasure, are you going to do anything to the clock before it puts a 7th counter on it? It's not time yet. It's not 12 o'clock. Maybe they're just disconnected or something. This is a strange thing to be waiting on. Alright, let's check out their graveyard. So they have no creatures in graveyard. That means that this is really not that great. They get to put a creature card from a graveyard, but all we have is Steelbane, and it's a 0/0. So right now this is useless until something else hits the graveyard. Oh, yeah, they must have disconnected, because that just, like, flew through their turn. And now it's already my upkeep. That doesn't make sense. They would have attacked, they would have done something. So, we might win this one by default if they're away, if they haven't done anything. I mean, it's not over. They have a 3/4 Death Touch lifelink. We're not really prepared to deal with that unless we play the Goose Mother as a blocker. In a few turns we get to draw 7 cards, which is going to be amazing. But right now we're hoping to dig and find something. Oh, Thought Monitor is pretty nice actually. And then we can still pay... Well, I guess we can't. We have really not been hitting our land drops. If we do this, we can still play Thought Monitor, so I'm just going to Farsight main phase. We will bargain our treasure token, actually. And we'll look at the top 8 cards. We are going to put... Let's grab Command Tower, actually. Sack of food. Oh, this is really silly. I need to scroll up on this card and it keeps scrolling me the other way. Okay, well, that's not what I wanted to do. God dang it, Magic. Well, that's where we are. Play a Thought Monitor. Nice. Oh god, that's so terrible. I don't want to do that, because I'd rather hold it up for the 3-2. Alright, we will do that, because then we can block the 3-4, and then next turn if we sack that food and we gain some life, we can tap this for 3. So we net 1 mana. We paid 2 to sack the food to gain 3 life, and this taps for 3. We don't have it as a blocker anymore, but I feel like they are still not there, and that eventually we will just win by concession. Because again, like, they shouldn't be stopping on the midnight clock trigger. Well, maybe unintentional concession. Unwitting concession. Although if you've left the computer, like, you're aware, it's a very high chance that just not going to win. Okay. Well, I think we were still in okay shape. They would have had to attack. We could have blocked with the goose. I wasn't really worried about using it for mana. Just nice to have the food, that way we could tap this for 3. And then we had the option of either of these 2 cards, probably the Troll King to create more foods, to keep sacking, to keep tapping for 3. And then eventually maybe Goose Mother again, but she was just too expensive. You know, 4 plus X. So she's only a 2/2 for 4. It just gets worse and worse. Alright, cool. Well, we'll take the win. See if we got our coins. Yeah, well, we got 100 for winning. Alright, and we have not hit our goal yet. 13 more green or white spells, and only 3 more green or blue spells. So I'll probably play Goose Mother. Actually, I'll probably switch to green and white, just because the green is going to count here. So, next game, I am going to play Extra Hearted. And here's the deck list. Hangerback, Ozolith, Hardened Scales, so lots of counters. Gaining 3 life, putting counters on creatures. All my creatures have vigilance. Lion Sash, lots of counters. Counters. Incubation Druid is counters. Ozolith is such a good card. Ranger class. I don't know what this is. Counters on creatures. Counters. Oath of Ajani. Counter on each creature you control. Wow. Clay Champion is great, because you can always just cast it for 4 and still spend 2 green and 2 white and get both abilities. Such a good card. Sleeper Agent, Wandering Emperor. This deck is pretty stacked, man. Holy cow, look at all these Planeswalkers. Planeswalkers you control and other creatures you control have hexproof. I even looked at the 3-drops. Skyclave is great. Simian Simulacrum. Branching Evolution. God, that's a jumpstart card. That's in here. That's pretty epic. Rishkar, Tireless Tracker, Augur of Autumn. 'em. This is actually looking like a really sweet deck. 'Cause I actually looking like a really sweet deck. 'Cause I actually looking like a really sweet deck. 'Cause I actually looking like a really sweet deck. 'Cause I actually looking like a really sweet deck. 'Cause I actually looking like a really sweet deck. 'Cause I actually looking like a really sweet deck. 'Cause I actually looking like a really sweet deck. 'Cause I actually looking like a really sweet deck. 'Cause I actually looking like a really sweet deck. 'Cause I actually looking like a really sweet deck. 'Cause I actually looking like a really sweet deck. 'Cause I actually looking like a really sweet deck. 'Cause I actually looking like a really sweet deck. 'Cause I actually looking like a really sweet deck. 'Cause I actually looking like a really sweet deck. 'Cause I actually looking like a really sweet deck. 'Cause I actually looking like a really sweet deck. 'Cause I actually looking like a really sweet de Turn Timber Symbiosis. There's some good stuff in here. Another Ajani. I like to say Ahani, but I hear people say Ajani. Primeval Bounty. Wow, very cool. Hadn't seen that one. Wanderer. Verdurous Gear Hulk. Nissa. Good lord. Wow, this deck looks stacked, man. Okay, well, stay tuned for the next video. We're going to play Extra Hearted. All these counters. My gosh.